IT and Skill Development and Entrepreneurship, Shri Rajeev Chandrasekhar. It is our pleasure to have Shri Ajay Sani, Secretary MIT, with us today. We're delighted to have with us Ms. Jyoti Arora, SSNFA MIT, Dr. Rajendra Kumar, Additional Secretary MIT, Dr. Jaideep Mishra, Joint Secretary MIT, Ms. Debjani Ghosh, President NASSCOM, Ms. Rekha Menon, Chairperson NASSCOM, Chairperson and Senior Managing Director, Accenture in India, Shri Rishad Premji, Chairperson Wipro, Shri Anant Maheshwari, President Microsoft India, Shri C.P. Gurnani, CEO and Managing Director, Tech Mahindra, and Ms. Kirti Seth, CEO, IT/ITS Sector Skill Council, NASSCOM. Additionally, other government officials and dignitaries from Indian IT industry and academia have also joined us virtually. The FutureSkills PRIME program is a digital skilling ecosystem which follows an aggregator framework for reskilling and upskilling of IT professionals. The IT/ITS Sector Skill Council at NASSCOM is the key implementing agency. The pan-India network of CDAC and NILET centers are being leveraged to extend the reach of this program in smaller towns and remote locations through blended learning programs. With these words, I would now like to invite Ms. Debjani Ghosh, President NASSCOM, to deliver the welcome address.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, and good morning to everyone. Our Honorable Prime Minister aptly said that skill development of the new generation is a national need. It is the foundation of Atmanirbhar Bharat. I mean, access to skills today, digital skills especially, is rewriting the rules of competition globally. Businesses are going where the talent exists. And this is forcing every single country and every single industry to wake up to the urgency of skill development. And I feel tremendously proud that we, India, have started this journey quite some time back. And today, I strongly believe that we have a headway in this extremely important initiative, in extremely important journey. Today, we are gathered here for the launch of FutureSkills PRIME, a mighty and NASSCOM initiative that is working to accelerate India's journey to becoming the digital talent nation for the world. It is with great pleasure that I welcome and sincerely thank Shri Ashwini Vaishnaw, Honorable Union Minister, IT, Communications, Electronics and Railways, Shri Rajeev Chandrasekhar, Honorable Minister of State, Electronics and IT, Skill Development and Entrepreneurship, Mr. Ajay Sani, Secretary MIT, who has been one of the biggest drivers of this initiative and without whom I don't think we would be here today, and the entire MIT team, Jyoti Arora ji, Dr. Rajendra Kumar, and the core team, Mr. Jaideep Mishra, Sanjay Vyas, Abhishek, who have all been key in ensuring that our vision of making India the talent nation became a reality. The journey began in 2018, but before that, I absolutely have to welcome our industry partners, stalwarts like Rekha, who's chairperson of NASSCOM, C.P. Gurnani, Rishad, Anand, who have all been involved with this initiative from day one, working with us to ensure this platform truly becomes a platform to drive employability and build that trainable mindset or that spirit of continuous learning, which is extremely important. You know, the FutureSkills journey began in 2018 when the Prime Minister launched FutureSkills B2B platform to train or to upskill the 4 million IT workforce in India. But soon after that, we realized that we needed to do much more. I remember a conversation which was the seed to FutureSkills PRIME with Mr. Ajay Sani within a few months of the first launch, where he brought up the need for us to think beyond IT. His point was that every company today is becoming a digital company. Every company needs access to digital talent. FutureSkills has to cater not just to IT, but to all other sectors. And since the world is going to need digital talent like never before, this is India's opportunity to become the talent nation. That sparked the idea behind Future Skills Prime, and hence started that amazing journey between Mighty, NASSCOM, and frankly, the whole industry and academia to build a platform to realize that vision. And I do believe that our demographics, the young population we have, the large capacity of engineering talent and innovation that we have, and the online learning momentum in India will give us a very strong foundation for this vision. We at NASSCOM strongly believe that with the right strategy and investments, Indian talent will be at the forefront of the world's journey to digitize. And in fact, Mr. Chandrasekhar, you very aptly put it in one of the events in the last few days, that there will be, or there is, India inside every innovation that is happening around the world. And I think that is the need of the hour. The Future Skills Prime platform is a very unique concept which has been developed jointly by government and industry. I think it's one of the best role models of public-private partnership globally, what it should look like. It's aimed at upskilling not just the workforce employed in the IT industry, but as I said earlier, it's designed to upskill talent across sectors, because every job in every sector is getting reimagined by the use of technology. So digital talent is a must in all sectors, and that's the goal. It's designed to build employability by focusing on aptitude as well as attitude. And the end goal is it must build lifelong learners. I would once again like to thank Shri Vaishnaw and Shri Chandrasekhar and Mr. Soni for your unwavering commitment to skilling and to making India become the leader as far as digital talent worldwide is concerned. As NASSCOM, it's a privilege. It's a privilege for us to be a partner in this tremendously important journey towards achieving the dream of making sure that when the world thinks digital, the world thinks India. I also would like to give a huge shout out to the core team in Mighty, led by Jaideep Mishra, Mr. Sanjay Vyas, and so many others, and in NASSCOM, led by Kirti Seth, who have pretty much worked 24/7 over the last few years to make this a reality. In today's world where everything seems very uncertain, the one thing that I am very certain about is that when government and industry joins hand, every dream can absolutely be realized. So once again, thank you for joining us today, and looking forward to an amazing journey. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am, for the warm welcome and setting the stage for today's event. May I now invite Dr. Jaideep Mishra, Joint Secretary Mighty, for his address on the Genesis of Future Skills Prime program, Reskilling Upskilling Imperatives.
Honorable Union Minister Shri Ashwini Vaishnaw ji, Honorable Minister of State Shri Rajeev Chandrasekhar ji, Secretary MeitY Shri Ajay ji, President NASSCOM Ms. Devjani Ghosh, all the present dignitaries from IT industry and officers from MeitY. This is a momentous occasion for us as we embark upon the launch of the Future Skills Prime project, which has now been fully developed with all the functionalities. I take this opportunity to briefly highlight the genesis of the project and its salient features. The emergence of disruptive technologies such as artificial intelligence, big data, IoT, AI, blockchain are a game changer. And these technologies have been creating millions of new jobs with a very rapid growth in demand. Conceptualizing a framework for upskilling, reskilling of the young and dynamic IT workforce, fully geared to handle these technologies while taking advantage of the emerging markets, has been a challenging task. The Future Skills Prime project sought to address this through an innovative aggregator framework through joint collaboration between the government and the IT industry. The Future Skill Prime project is designed to transform the skill ecosystem in the country by converting the traditional skilling techniques to more contemporary, new age learning and training methods as required by the industry. In this scenario, the FSP Prime, or Future Skills Prime as it is called, is aimed at creating an intermediate layer to map the desired industry relevant online content already available with the training providers and aggregators with the future job roles, and offer them as skilling options to candidates along with other value-added services. The program also seeks to create curation capabilities where high-quality free pathways are created, leading to a competitive marketplace for content providers, aggregators, both at domestic as well as international levels. One of the key advantages of FSP is that it enables individuals to make well-informed decisions. A candidate who signs up on the portal can take a diagnostic test and make informed decisions about further skilling requirements based on his career aspirations. Since technological frameworks are ever evolving, the program aims to develop an integrated high-quality system of training that constantly responds to these evolving needs. This program is unique in the way of imparting skilling and training. High-quality course content that are curated by the industry experts is coupled with machine-based learning tools, which enable goal-oriented learning, training, and skilling path for candidates. FSP also seeks to motivate and create values at every step through innovative mechanisms, such as quizzes that would lead to a badge, which is essentially a recognition of the aspirant's effort and keen interest in getting reskilled or upskilled. Further unique features of the Skills Passport and Skills Ledger have also been introduced, so that any learning that an aspirant acquires during his reskilling upskilling journey is recorded and suitably recognized. With the increasing inclusivity and pervasiveness of IT and electronics across all sectors, separate entities are converging and newer job roles are emerging. Thus, onboarding specific skill sets job roles from other verticals such as fintech, healthcare, etc. requires cross-pollination with IT. FSP FutureSkills PRIME, by way of its unique offering, also cater to this new breed of hybrid professionals who are specialists in their domain and also particular technologies. During the conceptualization phase, several rounds of discussions were held with stakeholders, including online content providers and aggregators such as Microsoft, TCS, Coursera, edX, Edcast, Adobe, etc., as well as job placement agencies. This led to crystallize the concept of an aggregator of aggregators framework under the program. Based on experience and feedback received, it emerged that blended learning, faculty development, formative assessments, learning analytics, etc. are some of the essential components that would supplement and fortify the online aggregator framework. In this regard, I'm happy to share that we have included these components as well within the FutureSkills PRIME, especially the blended learning component, which would be largely driven by our NILET and CDAC centers that function as key resource centers for each of the 10 technologies within the FSP program. I would like to express my deep gratitude to NASSCOM and the industry leaders for this collaboration, which is facilitated in the society at large, including the professionals, students, government officials, and citizens in planning and undertaking personalized self-paced learning in line with their own aspirations. I thank you all for participating in this endeavor. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for the insightful address. The FutureSkills PRIME program is indeed a meaningful collaboration between the industry, academia, and the government in the true spirit of Team India model. I would now like to invite Ms. Rekha Menon, Chairperson, NASSCOM, Chairperson and Senior Managing Director, Accenture in India, for her address on skilling in emerging technologies through the private-public partnership mode, which is proving to be a game changer for India.
Thank you. Honorable Minister Vaishnaw, Honorable Mr. Chandrasekhar, our METI colleagues and our industry colleagues. I'm very pleased to be here, and I won't repeat the importance of FutureSkills PRIME, but why are we doing this? Because what's happening is digital technologies presents a massive opportunity, both for India's socio-economic growth, for local industry, but also for export-led revenues. And for that to happen, one Accenture study, for example, said that just the use of AI done properly in its broader space could add US dollars 1 trillion to the Indian economy by 2035. And if we have to realize all that potential, we need digital talent. And that's the reason for FutureSkills. And Indian IT industry has always spent a lot of money and time in skilling its workforce. Why is it urgent now? Because three things have happened. One, there's a compression of technologies and a rapid pace of change of technologies that has happened, and it's happening all the time. Second, every company is now a digital company. So the need for digital skills is across. It's not just for the technology industry, right? And that itself has created a perfect storm, and it's created a need for, the urgent need for skilling. And to bridge that very real gap that we have, we have to come together, which is what we've done. We need government and private sector innovation to enable the skills revolution. And FutureSkills PRIME is a great example because it uses technology, which overcomes the inherent challenges of complexity and scale and democratizes digital skilling. It can be now anybody across India can access, whether in tier 2, tier 3 cities, women sitting at home, all of that. And I just wanted to quote one number because it really bears repeating. FutureSkills PRIME platform, since its launch, has already had 4 lakh signups, which is just amazing. And this is really has been the success of this has really been the PPP, between the deep collaboration between government and industry. If we look at just the industry, which has provided a lot of expertise, whether it was Wipro Talent Next doing 2,000 learner certifications, or Cisco providing 20,000 internship program enrollments, or Accenture curating deep artificial intelligence and big data analytics training, or Microsoft doing foundational training. All of these are commitments from the industry, not just to skill people for ourselves, but also for the broader ecosystem. And the collaboration needs to continue, but needs to deepen. And I would suggest, we could take the form of working for job standards. We could support colleges in designing curriculum. We could contribute content across. We could also set up infrastructure like labs and centers of excellence to enable learners to practice on new technology. And if we have to do this, we have to do a constant, very close collaboration between industry, academia, government, and other ecosystem partners. And that will only create the policies that have a sustainable skilling environment for India. Honorable Prime Minister Modi had said last year, saying India may have missed the industrial revolution, but will not miss the information technology revolution. And working together to strengthen the ecosystem, to support skilling can be that game changer that can help our country fulfill this ambition. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Indeed, FutureSkills PRIME is envisioned as a one-stop global platform for skilling, upskilling, and reskilling in emerging technologies. For more insights from the industry, we have with us some of the most respected industry captains. I would now request Shri Rishad Premji, Chairperson Wipro, to share his thoughts on the great strides that India is making towards the global hub for digital talent.
Thank you. Thank you. At the outset, I would like to thank our Honorable Minister, Shri Ashwini Vaishnaw ji, Minister of State, Shri Rajeev Chandrasekhar, for their vision and their unflinching support in taking the FutureSkills initiative to the next level. I also want to thank Mr. Ajay Sani and his team for their exemplary support, which I believe has been instrumental in the success of this initiative. I also want to thank Devjani and the entire NASSCOM team for their relentless work in making the FutureSkills platform a true trendsetter in the country. And I want to thank my friends and colleagues from the industry who've contributed immensely to this platform. So thank you for this opportunity. I'm sorry I couldn't be there in person, but I, like all of you, feel passionately about the power and the importance of skilling, and I'm thrilled to witness the launch of the FutureSkills PRIME platform. This is a time truly like no other, and the last 18 months have only accelerated our pace of moving to a world that is truly digitally dependent and connected, and a digital-first world. And India has a unique opportunity to enable this by being the world's answer as of digital talent. Let me first talk about the demand of talent itself. And I know this is obvious, but I think it's worth pointing out. There's an acute shortage the world over, across companies, across industries for talent. And by some estimates, the shortage is 7 to 10x of what the supply available today is. The industry itself has hired and grown 3 to 4 times since the pandemic started. The global digital talent acquisition market is expected to grow from 22 billion in 2020 to 33 billion by 2025. And the digital talent in India is expected to grow to 3.5 to 3.7 million by 2024, a several-fold increase from the current number. So the demand is enormous and the shortage is acute. The good news is that companies and government are working to address this demand. Companies are adopting a series of efforts, nurturing fresh talent, investing deeply in reskilling and upskilling to these new age skills to address the demand-supply gap. The government has enabled the deployment of the FutureSkills platform and now the FutureSkills PRIME platform, working closely with NASSCOM and industry to enable the availability of these skills at scale and also to reskill and upskill talent at scale. And further, I think the government taking the ambitious goal of making us a $5 trillion economy by 2025 and the digital ecosystem playing a key role in that journey has also very publicly announced our commitment as a nation to digital skills and talent world over. I also believe that the new education policy is a powerful push on many transformational ideas, multidisciplinary skilling, the transferability of credits, blended learning, teacher training. These will all go a long way in preparing our nation for the digital future. We at Wipro have also been trying to play a role working closely with the teaching community and with NASSCOM. I deeply believe teachers can create a multiplier effect in making the students industry ready on digital skills. We have been training the faculty and principals from engineering and science colleges on digital skills and digital leadership programs. We have trained and certified over 500 professors so far, who in turn have trained about 100,000 students over the last 5 years, and 83% of such students have gotten job offers. We have been partners of NASSCOM on the FutureSkills program since its inception. So far, together, we have enabled over 30,000 students from 73 engineering colleges. And we have seen a phenomenal support from academia in taking this responsibility forward to achieve the shared purpose of reducing the gap between what academia produces and what industry needs. Finally, it is imperative to continue promoting the adoption of platforms like the FutureSkills platform. The need to create a large digital talent pool is well understood. We must continue to encourage students across colleges to acquire emerging, relevant skills through the future platform and to make themselves industry ready. Many organizations are already supporting such initiatives, and we are all very happy to continue to do so. This is the future of our country and the opportunity for us, which is once in a lifetime. Thank you again for having me.
Thank you, sir. It's exciting to know that willingness of companies to look at alternative talent pools would usher a new paradigm for upskilling and reskilling, which is being addressed by FutureSkills Prime. Moving on, I would now request Shri Anant Maheshwari, President, Microsoft India, to share his views on reimagining digital skilling through innovative learning models.
Thank you. Honorable Shri Vaishnaw, Honorable Shri Chandrasekhar, Mr. Sani, the colleagues from government and from industry. I'm really honored to address this session today and very excited about the opportunity with FutureSkills Prime. We truly live in amazing times of technology progress. And this presents a very, very unique opportunity for India to become even bigger global tech engine, a nerve center of the innovation for the planet. Providing equal access to digital skilling for all will be very, very vital to realizing this vision. The industry leaders before me and Dr. Mishra have already spoken of the urgent need, scope, and the impact of the FutureSkills program. Skilling every part of India will require us not just to think about what skills are being delivered, but also how they are being delivered. New formats of skilling programs will need to be built at scale that not only equip our youth with digital skills, but also enable critical thinking, collaboration, creative problem solving, and responsible decision making. I want to share two models that will be very important to empower India's workforces of a digital future. The first one is community-based learning. The one-to-one or one-to-many, the teacher-student model, is fast changing. The future of learning is social. Around the world, we are seeing the use of community-based peer-to-peer learning. NASSCOM, GitHub, and other partners recently brought community-based learning for students through a virtual internship program. This platform, the Future Ready Talent, we are really excited to have created this as industry and collaborating to make it bigger. This program focuses on a holistic experiential learning model, connecting learners more readily with new job opportunities. Students get to learn together, collaborate on projects with each other, developers on GitHub coming together, and build on each other's success. The second model I would like to talk about is really creating a funnel of talent that makes tech skills and jobs accessible to those beyond just the white collar and in urban hubs, to others, including blue collar workers and tier 2 and 3 cities and villages across the country. Today, every job is a digital job in some shape or form. Whether it's what we talk about in this room a lot, which is around the IT industry, the traditional enterprises, the corporates, the government, public services, and now completely getting redefined by the startup ecosystem. But these are still white-collar jobs. It's the merging of the digital in the blue-collar jobs and the workforce where it's changing. Whether it is a security guard who needs to operate a computer, a factory operator who interacts with the digital screen to run a machine, and a health worker who needs to work through virtual modes and high-tech healthcare systems. This requires a very significant shift in the learning models for digital skills and also create a funnel of talent that the country can employ for its digital prowess. For India to truly become a digital economy, we need to empower our youth and frontline workforces across rural and semi-urban areas to make the shift to a more skilled and tech job in every job. A native understanding of digital skills and therefore a career in IT can and should be a viable option for everyone. A systematic effort to create platforms that make tech skilling accessible and affordable for all will be key to ensuring this. As envisioned by the Honorable Prime Minister, Government of India through the Ministry of Labour and Employment is also leading a big effort on that front on the blue collar side. And they are aiming to empower 10 million job seekers across the country with digital skills. To me, that's a funnel for the future of the IT industry. I truly believe that India's success will depend on its ability to reduce the digital equity gap with skilling as its core foundation. We really look forward to working with the Government of India, NASSCOM, and all the industry leaders present here to make that happen. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for the insightful talk. Equipping our youth with digital skills and also other skills such as critical thinking, collaborative problem solving, and responsible decision making is a significant component of FutureSkills PRIME program. Speaking on the topic of innovative models to bridge the digital talent gap, we have with us Shri C.P. Gurnani, CEO, Managing Director, Tech Mahindra. Sir, I would now like to invite you for your address.
Honorable Shri Ashwini Vaishnaw, Shri Rajeev Chandrasekhar, Shri Ajay Jyoti Arora, Dr. Rajendra Kumar, Dr. Mishra, Abhishek Singh, and all my NASSCOM colleagues and the officers from METI, I don't think a discussion on future skills could have come at a more appropriate time. We have all seen Government of India unleashing many new reforms in the last 60, 90 days. If you look at, all the, whether it is the PLI scheme or whether it is connectivity to the last mile or some of the privatization efforts, it is very clear that it is not only the future skills are required for us to become bigger and better global citizens. I think we need it for India also. NASSCOM did a study a few years ago with PwC, and that time we determined that we would need about 2.5 million cybersecurity experts. We looked at the need for AI, and most of our studies were really based upon increasing the digital quotient of India, increasing the tech index of India. But the pandemic has now forced us to move not only from the digital skills, but to look at business transformation. And for business transformation, Many people have used the words like digital disruption. People have used the word alternate thinking. People have tried to use different words, but it ultimately means technology is a glue, technology is available. We need to be able to harness it. And for that, I think in a lot of ways, our Future Skills platform that we are launching today, which is AI enabled, which is dynamic, which is agile, and which responds to the changing needs of the market, I think is very, very important. I grew up in Rajasthan, and some of these basic lessons that you learn when you grow up. For example, a marble, which is, as you know, it's in Udaipur, Jodhpur, Kishangarh. I mean, there's a lot of marble which is excavated as a mining effort. Now, one part of the marble could become a floor. One part of the marble could come into your temples because of the statue that you make out of it. Or one part of the marble could actually land up in the museums because of the art that it provides. To me, India has this advantage of the basic talent being available. And each one of us, if we realize our basic product is the talent, and it's our job to now do the talent multiplier. If we do the talent multiplier, that means the requirement could be 22 million or 25 million. If I need to move up the value chain, if I make a statue, I am going to get better realization and hence move up the value chain. A few years ago, when Dr. C.K. Prahlad was alive and he used to come to Bangalore for workshops every year, he had actually pointed out the India advantage. He said, look at your manufacturing automotive sector. It is Gurgaon, you have software factories in Gurgaon. You have Chennai, and you have software factories in Chennai. The question is, will we marry the business with the technology? Dr. C.K. Prahlad, again, was always ahead of his time. That was, I know we lost him in 2010, but the reality is his advice given during that time. If we apply it even today, what we will end up doing is again create a product which is ahead of time. So my request is, on one end, we have a train to catch. On the other hand, we have to repackage our value offerings. On the third side is we need to leapfrog for the future. And whether the future belongs to quantum computing or federated AI, I think most of us in this room are capable to say what the future bets would look like. And all I can say is NASSCOM and industry is excited and grateful to METI for launching FutureSkills PRIME, because the opportunity is now and that $1 trillion can be achieved if we all work together, and we will do it. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Transitioning of...
I think Honorable Minister is having some network issues. He's in Silvassa in Daman. So he's had to drop out. But we'll see if he's able to join in, but he may not be able to join in. Right now it looks like that.
Ajay,
okay.
He's telecom and IT.
Okay, yeah.
Thank you, sir. Transitioning of tech organizations in India towards location-agnostic hiring, hybrid work models are indeed opening up exciting opportunities for learners and professionals. The beta version of FutureSkills PRIME portal was made operational in November 2020 with free digital fluency content. In less than a year, the portal has garnered more than 4 lakh plus signups. The launch of the platform today with industry-curated courses by content partners and blended learning courses by CDAC and NILET, coupled with government incentives on completions, would provide learners with an unprecedented experience. Now, we have a special audio-visual presentation which will showcase the journey of FutureSkills PRIME.
Today, with digital transformation sweeping across India and the world, India stands at the brink of making history. Opportunity is all around as technology reshapes the way we work and live. While our potential is immense, for this to become a reality, there has never been a greater need to build the talent that will embrace the digital future. Today, the focus is on using the digital technologies, no matter which industry you are part of. And India can use the power of her youth to build a future-ready workforce that's fluent in emerging tech skills to rise as a global digital superpower.
Constant reskilling is a basic requirement for the success of the Indian IT industry.
Democratizing the skilling ecosystem is the need of the hour, and providing anywhere, anytime learning opportunities is really important. And as our Honorable Prime Minister says, Samsiksha, Sarvasiksha, and Shresth Diksha is what India needs to become the skills capital of the world and truly Atmanirbhar. Skilling is the new currency.
The world of technology continues to evolve rapidly, and it's catalyzing change and making extraordinary things possible. In fact, every business is a digital business now. And that also means a whole world of opportunities. Be open to learning. Not only will new learning elevate your career, it'll help you and equip you to shape the world of tomorrow.
Talent is going to be the biggest competitive advantage a country or a company can have.
A first of its kind digital learning ecosystem created by the IT industry and the Government of India that's empowering thousands of young professionals with employability-focused learning to generate a new age workforce ready to take on the modern world. In less than a year, the journey to make India a digital talent nation has seen significant progress with but no one can tell this better than the learners themselves.
Because of the FutureSkills PRIME initiative, a Digital India program, which helped me realize the true potential that lies between the technologies. It was a boon for me to be a part of this initiative.
I will say about this FSP, this is a very good platform taken initiative by government, which we can use to enhance your knowledge, skills, as well as get approved certificate from government, which we can use in your career also.
I would definitely recommend my friends to take up courses from FutureSkills PRIME because of the format of the lectures, the assignments, as well as the interactive labs, which helps you in getting an in-depth understanding of whichever subject that you take up.
Taking up a course on this platform has opened a lot of opportunities for me as a student. I was eligible to participate in the 24-hour CTF Grand Challenge, and I secured 7th place.
Truly, we are a nation of immense talent and limitless ambition. By using technology and the power of platforms, FutureSkills PRIME is an initiative that truly democratizes skill building in the digital technologies to reach any part of India. And to empower transformation, it seeks to fund the ambitions of eligible learners with generous incentives to reduce any barriers to learning. With the upskilling revolution spreading to all corners of India, we are now inching closer to the vision of making India the global hub of talent in the emerging technologies. Transforming lives to build the nation through upskilling with FutureSkills PRIME. Upskill for India.
Welcome back. At this juncture, I would request Shri Ajay, Secretary, Ministry of Electronics and IT, to kindly deliver his address.
Honorable Cabinet Minister Shri Ashwini Vaishnaw ji, Honorable Minister Shri Rajeev Chandrasekhar ji, The dignitaries present here in this program, Shri C.P. Gurnani ji, Srimati Rekha Menon ji, Rishad Prem ji, and Anant Maheshwari ji, and Devjani, of course, who has been constantly working on this program, Kirti, and my colleagues from the ministry, Srimati Jyoti Arora, Dr. Rajendra Kumar, Dr. Jaideep Mishra, and Sanjay Vyas ji. It's a delight for me to be here today as we are bouncing back globally from the pandemic. I think digital technologies are accelerating very visibly, but there is a excitement of adoption of technology in almost every sector. Simultaneously, there is a tension in the air because this time around, every time a new technology is coming, there is tension. There is uncertainty. Are we going to lose jobs? Are we going to gain jobs? And this time it is even more so because with the AI and other technologies coming in, there is a prediction that there is going to be a loss of jobs. But every time technologies have come in, there has been a loss of jobs as well as a gain of jobs. But what is always visible is a shifting of jobs. Somewhere you lose jobs and somewhere you gain jobs. So are we going to be on the losing side in this particular decade, or are we going to be on the gaining side? I think this was the question that was agitating our minds as we saw NASSCOM and the leaders of the industry create a platform for themselves for reskilling people within the industry, for ensuring that as service providers to the globe, that we would take the lead and we would reskill people who are already employed within the industry. Looking at that as an exceedingly important opportunity for the entire country, with NASSCOM, we actually thought of creating it again as a national public digital platform. Not a platform which is only B2B, but a national public digital platform where public investment also goes alongside the private effort, which gets into, it enables all kinds of content to find its place there. The finest content from across the globe to be not created here, but curated here. And curated to be in alignment with competencies that are defined by the industry for specific job roles. So we started with specific job roles, the specific competencies that would get people into those job roles. And we've tried to prepare the entire platform around that. So it's one of our most exciting national public digital platforms. As in case with the generic design of such platforms, this is a Team India effort. It is not an effort of the government. It is not an effort of the industry alone. It is a Team India effort. It is where we work together. And this, again, in the spirit of our national public digital platforms, it leverages our size. It leverages our scale. What India has going for, what we have in India going for us, is the immense scale. And national public digital platforms help us to institutionalize the strength of scale. So when we do something as India, no one else can compete in scale. And if we do it well, if we do it with excellence, I think we actually have the potential of creating something which will be the finest, not just for India, but for the globe. And in that spirit, I'm very happy that the FutureSkills PRIME has taken the shape it has, and that the not just digital fluency courses, which are exceedingly popular among everyone, but also the pathways to serious competency in each of these areas is, in many areas it is available, in others it is getting created. We will need hybrid effort. We will not be, it will not be sufficient to only look at a powerful digital platform. I think the spirit of something being led by a local guru, a guru who is a mentor rather than a teacher. You know, he helps you gain from the finest content in the world and helps you absorb that. So that we are also trying to do by making this platform available through CDAC, through NILIT, and through the various colleges that have other professional programs going on. And Devjani and I have had the pleasure of sitting with Mr. Nirmaljit Singh Kalsi, chairman of NCVET, and trying to arrive at a model where these would be in modules which are recognized by NCVET, and the credits for those modules would go right directly from this platform into their academic programs. So this promises to be one of our most exciting national public digital platforms, and I am truly proud to be a part of this effort and to be able to present it to our ministers and to the country at large. Thank you for giving me this opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for sharing your valuable thoughts with us. Homogenizing FutureSkills Prime into a national public digital platform for all skilling, reskilling, and upskilling requirements in emerging technologies is the dream we would definitely pursue. Now, the golden moment we have all been waiting for. I would request Honorable Minister Shri Rajeev Chandrasekhar to formally launch the platform.
Good morning, all. Good morning, all. Secretary Ajay Sani and my colleagues at METI, the hardworking colleagues at METI, Devjani Ghosh at NASCOM, CP Gurnani, Anant Maheshwari, Vishad Premji, Rekha Menon, and ladies and gentlemen, thank you for having me over to speak at this FutureSkills Prime launch. It's the first time that I've been introduced as a golden moment, but I will assume that that is not a reflection of anything else, but that you value my comments, and I'll move forward on that basis. Ever since I was given this opportunity to serve on the Prime Minister Modi's Council of Ministers on 7th of July, I have been on many such seminars. And yesterday somebody walked into my office, a young lady from the media, and said, why are you on the television or on these seminars so much? And I think she rattled off a count of about 14 or 15 that she was in, that she attended. And I explained to her that this was not because I like to see my face on a screen or I like to pontificate or speak, which is not really the case. I actually am the exact opposite. But I am setting out with these engagements to evangelize the Prime Minister's vision, Prime Minister's ambitions for this country of doubling our exports and establishing a roadmap to a $1 trillion digital economy that is a real roadmap and a real path paved with real milestones. So I just want to assure people who are seeing me for the nth time on a seminar, including Devjani, I think I've been with you on about 4 in the last 1 month, that this is part of our overall effort at mobilizing, focusing, and creating a coherent strategy to a $1 trillion digital economy. One of the I'm asked, because I have this twin responsibilities of being a minister in the skill development ministry and in METI, is which is your favorite? And that is like asking a parent, and I am a parent of a son and a daughter, is like asking you which we are asked as parents, who's your favorite child? And my answer to this is usually that on some days, one of them is my favorite. On the other day, the other one is favorite, depending on which one is performing better on that particular day. But my enduring commitment to the missions at both ministries is absolutely complete. It's total. And the reason I'm excited about Future Skills Prime is because it lies in the intersection of these two ministries. It is as much a task and a mission for the skill development effort that the Prime Minister launched in 2015, as it is for the sustainability and the resilience and the growth of our technology ecosystem to the $1 trillion goal that the Prime Minister has laid out. On the 15th of July, in a very separate meeting, the Prime Minister spoke to us at the Skill Ministry, and he said that over the last 6 years, the progress that we have made in the skilling ecosystem in India, and the skilling ecosystem goes beyond the technology space, must be built on and a new approach developed in the post-COVID world. And he obviously used the word new approach in terms of redesigning and reimagining skilling on the basis of what we've achieved. And a lot of it was to do with bringing in digital skilling, not just skilling about digital, but also bringing skilling onto digital platforms. It may be interesting for you to know, and I'll come to the other points that he mentioned that day, that we have over the last 6 years built a skill network in this country that is extensive. 14,000 training centers, 700 plus Prime Minister Kaushal Kendras, that is one in every district. That along with a network of about 13,500 ITIs and other Jan Shikshan Sansthan NGO-led training that goes into remote parts of India and to communities that are very remote. There is a tremendously large training network that has been developed. That, of course, except that that network delivers programs all the way from very low-level skills to very high-level specialized skills, and over 4,000 NCVT accredited programs. It is on top of that this new approach is being redesigned and reimagined. I think Future Skills Prime fits very well into that. And the principles basically of the redesigning is the following, and I'll share this with you in this audience. One is that we have to have the private sector be the early warning, the early warning system of what skills are required by our economy. This is not something that the government can do. And I think this is an important area to characterize the partnership between government and the industry. That is, what skills are required by the economy 2 years down the road, 1 year down the road, 3 years down the road, is something that the industry must forecast. The industry must work with these skilling partners and the government agencies to ensure courses are developed, designed, accredited, and certified, and are available for those. The second is a deeper involvement, institutional involvement of the private sector. And in many areas that is working very well. In some areas it is not so working, not so great. This, I hope, is an area where the private sector involvement is significant. And I mean that in the context of the government's commitment, for example, in the digital future skills is very amply evident. We have committed about 450 crores of capital to it. That is not a small amount of contribution. A large part of that is remaining unspent. NASSCOM has contributed some small amount of capital and is contributing through the private sector partners their coursework. But we need to get private sector much more deeper involved. And I mean as not just as training stakeholders, but as financial and employment stakeholders. See, the third part of this reimagined framework, if you want to call it, is that skilling is not seen as ab initio only. It is not about entry-level skilling. It should be seen as a continuous dynamic ladder of skilling, upskilling, reskilling. And in upskilling, the outcome and the measure is really about career progression. In ab initio skilling is very easy. It is easy to measure, which is about employment. But in reskilling and upskilling, it should be about career progression. And like I said, the last part is that it should be firmly linked to employment and or career progression. I think Rishad mentioned the new education policy. I want to bring that to your attention as well. It is almost like the universe is coming together to give the tech ecosystem a huge jump, a step function opportunity for growth. The new education policy, this new skilling paradigm, government partnership, the fact that technology adoption around the world and digitalization world is at a never before pace, all represents a serious Y2K moment. I call it a Y2K moment because I can't think of anything else to refer to it as. But I say again, and I've said this in many other seminars that have been hosted by NASSCOM and others, that this is really an inflection point for us. We have to seize the moment as an inflection point. The next 2 to 3 years, we've got to get our act together very, very smartly. And I think Mr. Gurnani was talking about competition. As we go up the value chain and as we get into these new areas of AI or whatever these new areas are, the competition landscape is going to be that much more intense. People are not just going to roll over and give us their breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and therefore the competition intensity, therefore the skill intensity is really part of the formula for success that we should be focusing on. I will end by saying this, that the government's commitment under Prime Minister Narendra Modi to being a partner, to being a durable partner, to being a partner that is around for the duration and that will step up with both capital and policy action. Please take that for granted. We are in here to be a stakeholder partner to the industry to succeed. But succeed you should, and succeed we must. So thank you for having me. Thank you, and Jai Hind.
Thank you so much, sir, for your inspiring words. Under your leadership, the Indian IT industry would definitely scale new heights. May I now formally request you to launch the platform? Thank you once again to all the dignitaries for launching and supporting the digital learning platform that is aimed to transform India's talent story. I would now request Ms. Kirti Seth, CEO, IT-ITS Sector Skill Council, NASSCOM, to offer the vote of thanks.
What an honor for me to have the privilege of saying thank you to this August gathering, where each one of you have contributed to get to this joyous occasion. The dedication of FutureSkills PRIME program to the nation. We are deeply grateful to Shri Ashwini Vaishnaw, Honorable Union Minister, Electronics and IT, Communication and Railways, and Shri Rajeev Chandrasekhar, Honorable Minister of State in Electronics and IT, Skill Development and Entrepreneurship, for taking time out to grace this occasion and inaugurating the FutureSkills PRIME program. Your presence motivates us and sends a loud message to the country and the world of how serious India is in her endeavor to become a digital talent nation. Shri Ajay Sani, Secretary METI, sir, you have been the driving force behind this program from day one. Your vision and encouragement have guided us every step of the way. Dr. Jaideep Mishra, you have been a true partner, always being alongside the team and allowing us to find ways out of complex challenges we faced along the way. I take this opportunity to thank Ms. Jyoti Arora. Your direct and extremely sharp questions pushed us many times to rethink what will bring value to the learner. Shri Rajendra Kumar, Dr. Rajendra Kumar, thank you so much for being with us today and for your keen interest in the program. Thank you, Ms. Rekha Menon, Chairperson NASSCOM, Chairperson and Senior MD Accenture India. You have believed in this program from the very beginning, pushed us to think of how to create real impact, and as Accenture even contributed a 4-level AI program that is world-class to the platform. Mr. Rishad Premji, Chairman Wipro, a champion and ambassador of the FutureSkills program. Wipro's Talent Next program showed companies how scale can be achieved by leveraging a platform and technology. With 10,000 people skilled last year and 20,000 planned for this year, your commitment has never flagged. Mr. Anant Maheshwari, President Microsoft India, always ready to experiment and try new things with FutureSkills PRIME. The Microsoft Virtual Internship Program on the platform has shown us beautifully how we can link skilling to outcomes. This model will inspire others to follow suit. Thank you, Mr. C.P. Gurnani, CEO and MD Tech Mahindra, for backing FutureSkills PRIME. Tech Mahindra was the original one of the 10 companies to sign up on FutureSkills in 2018, and that's what created the confidence in other companies to come on board, and look where we are today. My gratitude to Ms. Debjani Ghosh for her energy, inspiration, and bold thought process to continuously push our limits. We would not have been able to pull this off without you standing steadfast behind us. There is a huge team that is working to make this program a reality. From our PMUs, Dr. Mary, Mr. V.K. Sharma, and the CDAC team. From METI, Mr. Vyas, Basab, Pramod, Surendra, and all the others, some of who are present here. The teamwork has been wonderful, and it is what will take us far. Our content partners, our assessment partners, our technology providers, representatives from academia, NCVET, NSDC, AICTE, MSDE, MHRD, yes, lots of acronyms, but everyone knows who I'm talking about, and you all know that you are essential ingredients to making this program successful, and of course, our member companies at NASSCOM who are all raising their hand with enthusiasm to participate. And lastly, my NASSCOM family and the FutureSkills PRIME team. Forgive me for not taking any names, because I simply cannot choose who has contributed less or more. You all have recognized that this is something we are doing for the country, and it shows. On behalf of METI and NASSCOM, we look forward to continued collaboration with you all to transform India's talent story to achieve the dream of the $1 trillion digital economy and make India the global hub of digital talent. Thank you, and Jai Hind.
Today, with digital transformation sweeping across India and the world, India stands at the brink of making history. Opportunity is all around as technology reshapes the way we work and live. While our potential is immense, for this to become a reality, there has never been a greater need to build the talent that will embrace the digital future. Today, the focus is on using the digital technologies, no matter which industry you are part of. and India can use the power of her youth to build a future-ready workforce that's fluent in emerging tech skills to rise as a global digital superpower.
Constant reskilling is a basic requirement for the success of the Indian IT industry.
Democratizing the skilling ecosystem is the need of the hour, and providing anywhere, anytime learning opportunities is really important. And as our Honorable Prime Minister says, Samsiksha, Sarvasiksha, and Shresth Shiksha is what India needs to become the skills capital of the world